You might be wondering why my phone out. That's because today I'm going to tell you guys about quiet and how this bad boy can help a bunch of introverts out there. Let's get this started with. Alright, quiet. The power of introverts in a world that can't stop talking. A lot of people actually think that introverts and extroverts are two different things, and a bunch of people actually think there's a pretty good division line. Sure, there's a division line, however, it's immediately a gray line, too. It's the gray line between the black and white of introverts and extroverts, because not everyone's completely introvert, not everyone's a complete extrovert. Those people are probably either lunatics or just really, really special prodigies like Sheldon Cooper. And those people are just interesting to talk about too, because they're the people who just go ahead and do their own things, and they like to do their own things too. And people have their own ways of doing things too. Introverts are mainly held in society as people who are hateful, and they're the ones who just go ahead and are not liked and excluded from friend zones too. However, extroverts are the ones who talk a lot, they're the ones the speech writers, and they're the great politicians and everything. However, you might be surprised about how many politicians and everyone are actually introverts. A lot of people here are actually introverts in the world. Gandhi himself was an introvert. Steve Wozniak was an introvert. I mean, his biography, his autobiography, I Was, is a pretty good proof of that. Steve Jobs was also an introvert too, and Bill Gates, I'm not sure if he's an extrovert or an introvert. Although he's still alive, so we can actually still talk about it too. A lot of people actually think that these things just go ahead and do their own things. However, there is one thing that I can say for sure could help me with my life. It's that, well, the power of these introverts is that they're really powerful too. They're the ones who just grab out their phones and do their texting everything like, hey, when should we when should this thing happen? Also, if they're too scared for the public speaking, they just go ahead and speak themselves out on this bad boy. So nowadays, it's actually easier to go ahead and voice your feelings because all you have to do is go behind this imaginary person, which you know is not real, and upload it on YouTube without thinking. How do you think I have 4,000 videos? Exactly 4,082 videos. And nowadays, it's actually really easier to voice your thoughts and create political outrage because the internet has been existing for a while now. And nowadays, a lot of people actually use it to their full extent. Some people misuse it. Like the thing that used to be called Twitter is now X. People use it a lot. And they use it a lot to just gain their own personal freedoms too. Quiet itself just goes ahead and tells us a lot about how powerful introverts are. Gandhi himself is an introvert, and he was able to get himself a world stage name. He prefers not to make speeches, which is why we don't have a book called Speeches by Gandhi. And a lot of people actually just prefer to be extroverts too themselves. Just don't criticize people just because they're introverts or extroverts. Just because the culture thinks that extroverts equals like nothing that you can do in your life, like you can't be socializing and those kind of things. That's wrong. Introvert can socialize too. An introvert and an extrovert can be friends as long as they find common ground. That's the actual thing to actually getting people to with you. Common ground. One more thing that I'm going to have to talk about is Asian Americans. Asian Americans have their whole complete chapter here. As I've already mentioned in part 3 of this video series, my mom came from Korean University, my grandpa came from Seoul University, and my dad came from Yonsei University, the university that makes my milk. I don't care, Mom, if it's expensive because it's imported. It's tasty. Also, really better than Seoul milk. I really hate the ones with the green cap on them because that's apparently the more nutritional one, but it tastes worse. And also, probably the only reason why I like Yonsei University milk better is because my mom has been feeding it to me ever since I was young. In fact, when I first was eating my first Shin Ramen, it was too spicy, so my mom put all the noodles out and put them in some milk. Thank you! I really should try that again. Except nowadays, I actually kind of prefer the Shin Ramen soup. Also, I think the taste of Shin Ramen in milk stuck in my mouth because nowadays I just like eating a noodle and drinking a bunch of milk. Sorry, Mom, for using up a lot of your money. Actually, I should say sorry to my dad because he's the one who's making the money. Sorry, Dad, for using up your money. That's it. Asian Americans themselves are also pretty much stereotypically known as the people who are the introverts. They're the ones who just go ahead and do their own things. They're the people who just like to go ahead, sit out back of class, and just listen. ask a question or two when they're not understanding something too. Also, pretty much they prefer to listen. And when they're called out, they're like, "Can I not do this in public?" Yeah. These introverts themselves are actually kind of the thing. So also there's really good reason too. A lot of Asian Americans have actually got their first culture shock when they went to the United States of America, went to their first class. Realized that a lot of these students were talking about the topic, but getting a little off topic too. Like in my class, however, it's actually great. These are not Asian Americans, but I'm in an international school, and almost like 99% of the students there are Asian, or at least half Asian, or at least like Asian, or at least a quarter Asian. They have Asian roots or something, and that's 99% of the students. The teachers themselves, well, teachers are like 80% foreigners. I mean, this year they 50% of the staff quit, so 50% of staff quit their jobs, like quit their positions. So 50% of new people just came in and filled their jobs. Like we got a new math teacher, we got a new science teacher, we got a new English teacher, we got a new we got a new INS teacher, we got a new principal, we got a new secondary principal. We also got a new service coordinator. We also got a new PE manager. Also, we got a new counselors. Yeah, like a bunch of these staff are there. Also, apparently the IEs, the maids also have changed. Wow. Also, at least the only good thing that I like is that they replaced the one of the flags that were next to the United States. I don't remember because I don't look at those flags often. With the 태극기, Korean flag. Long live Korea. 대한민국 만세. 같이 엄마. 대한민국 만세. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Ignore that. But how does all this actually work out? Asian Americans, sure, have their culture shock. Personally, if I do go to an American school, I probably won't be culture shocked too. Because my mom herself actually said this. I talk and apparently think like a Western person. Do I, Mom? Yes or no? I don't think she was listening. 나 미국 사는 생각한다고요, 엄마. 말투로. Little bit. Okay. Okay, I'll accept that. So I probably won't get culture shock at all. In fact, every book you see behind you is in English! Except for those at the bottom. Those are just foreign language learning books, and those are the ones I read as a baby. Never learned how to speak Spanish, though. My Korean's rusty. Chinese, even rustier. But I'm changing that. 꼭 그거 바꿀게요, 엄마. 중국어, 한국어 더 잘 말할게요. Okay, that's about it. So quiet itself is pretty good. Asian Americans, great. They turned introverts to extroverts. I don't actually highly recommend universities to force Asian Americans to go ahead and talk just because they don't want to talk. Sure, but as long as they get good grades and they're pretty good, and as long as they don't have anxiety and also depression, then you should just let them be the way they are. They're smart. That's guaranteed. But are they good? You'll have to see that. Don't just force them to say it. Let them say it. Like try to let them say it too. Get them into the conversation too. As long as you want them to do it. Just because it's like forcing a cat to drink after that cat has drunk 1 gallon of water. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole point of this book. And yes, it is also possible for introverts and extroverts to talk together. In fact, that's actually recommended, so that both of you can actually see what each of you want. Both of you can see the other person's perspective, and both of you can create a more fairer solution than the introvert or the extrovert alone could create. And that's it. So hopefully you guys have actually enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys have listened. Thank you, Mom, for answering my wild card questions. And I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, Shnan out. Peace. Bye bye. 네. 한번 같이 3, 2, 1. 대한민국 만세. Bye bye.
Bye guys.
Wear a helmet.
안녕.
Bye.